Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now with the main headlines. Al-Kadhimain Holy Shrine organizes banner replacement ceremony ahead of Imam Jawad alayhi salam's martyrdom. Sudan's raging war forces more than 2 million from their homes. Saudi Hajj Committee says that more than 557,000 pilgrims arrived in the holy city of Medina. UN report raises concerns of Al-Qaeda and Islamic State expansion in Taliban-ruled Afghanistan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear viewers. This is Shia Waves and you're watching from Imam Hussein TV 3 London. The Holy Kadhimiya Shrine organized a banner replacement ceremony yesterday, Wednesday, to change and host the black banner of the two holy domes ahead of the sorrowful anniversary of the martyrdom of Imam Muhammad al-Jawad alayhi salam on the 30th of the current month of Dhul Qa'dah. The correspondent of Shia Waves agency in Iraq's capital Baghdad said that large numbers of Shia loyalists and scholars attended the ceremony to express their heartfelt condolences to Imam al-Mahdi Ajjallah Ta'ala Farajuh al-Sharif on this sorrowful occasion. He also added that the Secretary General of the Holy Shrine held various religious and cultural activities on this event, such as delivering poems in honor of Imam Muhammad al-Jawad alayhi salam, and lectures covered his honorable biography and his stands in the face of oppression and injustice. He concluded that the people of the holy city took to the streets to hold their mourning and service processions amid tight security plans. More than 2 million people have been forced to flee their homes, seeking safety and shelter in overcrowded camps or neighboring countries. These internally displaced people, or IDPs and refugees, face numerous challenges, including a lack of access to food, clean water, healthcare, and education. Women and children and the elderly are particularly vulnerable in these settings, facing increased risks of gender-based violence, exploitation, and malnutrition. The displacement disrupts livelihoods and hampers economic development, trapping communities in a cycle of poverty and dependence. Humanitarian organizations are overwhelmed by the scale of the crisis, struggling to provide basic necessities to the displaced population. Adequate funding and resources are required to address the immediate needs of those affected and to prevent further deterioration of the situation. The Saudi Hajj Statistics Committee in the holy city of Medina revealed that 557,000 people and pilgrims arrived by land and air in the holy city from various nationalities. The statistics showed that the total arrivals for yesterday's Wednesday reached 26,000 people, pilgrims, of which 21,000 of them pilgrims arrived at Prince Mohammed bin Abdul Aziz International Airport in Medina in 91 flights, while the Immigration Center received 51 flights carrying 1,814 pilgrims, and the Land Center received 86 flights carrying 2,757 pilgrims. The committee added that the number of pilgrims on their way to the holy city sites in Mecca has reached 414,000 pilgrims, while the number of pilgrims remaining in Medina is 142,000 pilgrims of different nationalities. It also confirmed that 48% of the hotels are currently occupied. Let us remind our respective views of today's headlines. Al-Kadhimain Holy Shrine organizes banner replacement ceremony ahead of Imam Jawad alayhi salam's martyrdom. Sudan's raging war forces more than 2 million people from their homes. Saudi Hajj Committee says that more than 557,000 pilgrims arrived in the holy city of Medina. Also tonight, World Food Programme announces reduction in food aid to Syria. Washington, according to United Nations reports released this week based on member state intelligence, Al-Qaeda and Islamic State terror groups' Afghan affiliates are experiencing significant growth in numbers and capabilities in Afghanistan. The report states that the terror groups have greater freedom of maneuver under Taliban rule and are making good use of it. The report highlights the symbolic relationship between Al-Qaeda and the Taliban, and Al-Qaeda viewing a Taliban-administrated Afghanistan as a safe haven. The report also mentions that the Islamic State of Khorasan province, IS Khorasan or ISIS-K, has capitalized on the Taliban's inability to establish control over remote areas and dissatisfaction with their rule to boost their recruitment and carry out attacks. The report estimates that Al-Qaeda has 30 to 60 senior officials and 400 fighters along with training camps. In Afghanistan, while IS Khorasan has grown to 4,000 to 6,000 members with strongholds in multiple provinces. However, US officials have expressed skepticism about the report's findings, stating that they do not align with their own intelligence assessments. And now we'll continue with some short news. Lebanese parliament fails to elect president for 12th time. The meeting of the Lebanese parliament to elect the new president of this country was held yesterday on Wednesday with the presence of all 128 members of the parliament, but none of the candidates could reach the required quorum. It was the 12th parliamentary session to elect the future president of Lebanon amid severe political and economic instability. In this voting session, the two main candidates, Jihad Azur and Suleiman Frangiya, received 59 and 51 votes, respectively. A boat carrying refugees and migrants sank off the coast of Greece, resulting in the loss of 79 lives. The ill-fated journey began as dozens of refugees and migrants embarked on a perilous voyage across the Aegean Sea, hoping to reach European shores. Overcrowded and often unseaworthy, their vessel encountered rough waters leading to its capsizing. As the boat sank, panic and chaos ensued, making rescue efforts challenging. Despite the attempts to nearby rescue teams, the majority of those on board could not be saved. Rescuers saved 104 passengers, including Egyptians, Syrians, Pakistanis, Afghans, Palestinians, and recovered 79 bodies. Eight Kenyan police officers were killed in a suspected Al-Shabaab bombing. The bombing took place in Garissa, a town in northwestern Kenya, where a police vehicle on patrol was struck by an improvised explosive device, IED, planted on the roadside. The blast resulted in the immediate loss of 8 policemen, with several others sustaining injuries. Al-Shabaab, an Islamist extremist group based in Somalia, is believed to be responsible for the attack. The group has a long-standing presence in the region and has carried out numerous attacks, often targeting civilians, security forces, and government institutions. Kenya, due to its proximity to Somalia and its contribution to the African Union mission in Somalia, the AMISOM, has been a prime target for Al-Shabaab's operations. At least 2 people were killed and 35 other miners fainted in a gas suffocation in a coal mine in northern Afghanistan's Samagan province. The accident occurred due to the emission of carbon monoxide gas in a coal mine in Darus Safa Bala district, killing 2 people and 35 others fainting, who were taken to hospital. Juana news agency quoted the district director Muhammad Shakan as saying this is the second accident of its kind since Saturday in Afghanistan, where a coal miner was killed and another lost consciousness due to gas suffocation in a coal mine in Baglan province, adjacent to Samangan. As part of its religious and cultural activities in the holy city of Medina, the Hajj delegation of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi visited today, Thursday, the Hajj delegation center of Grand Ayatollah Sheikh Bashir al-Najafi, the son of Grand Ayatollah al-Najafi, and the number of scholars received by the delegation from Grand Ayatollah Shirazi. The two sides talked about a number of religious and intellectual issues related to the holy ritual of Hajj. The World Food Programme has announced that it will have to cut food aid to Syrians in half due to reduced financial support and depletion of aid. According to Al Mayadeen News Network, the World Food Programme announced in a statement that the unprecedented financial crisis in Syria has forced its organization to reduce its aid to about 2.5 million people out of the 5.5 million people who depended on the aid of this organization. The World Food Programme has exhausted all options in the face of every limited resources. It has also decided to give priority to the 3 million Syrians who cannot survive for more than a week without food aid. The World Food Programme will no longer be able to continue serving 5.5 million Syrians as food aid runs out by October. According to the report of the World Food Programme, 12.1 million people suffer from lack of food security in Syria. 2.5 million people are also facing severe lack of food security, and about 6.7 million people are internally displaced. We have reached the end of today's Shia Waves show. Let's remind our viewers of today's headlines. Al-Kadhimain Holy Shrine organizes banner replacement ceremony ahead of Imam Jawad alayhi salam martyrdom. Sudan's raging war forces more than 2 million people away from their homes. Saudi Hajj Committee says more than 557,000 pilgrims arrived in the holy city of Medina. UN report raises concerns of Al-Qaeda and Islamic State expansion in Taliban-ruled Afghanistan. World Food Programme announces reduction in food aid to Syria. You can view the latest news on Shia Waves' website, and you can send news of your city or country to be published on our news agency. Contact us on the numbers at the bottom of the screen. This is the end of today's news. Thank you for watching, and we pray to Allah the Almighty to hasten the appearance of the Master of our time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I am the sun, the star at the center of your universe. I am a wondrous thread